Yo, good morning, traders. Welcome to another episode of Market in the Morning. I'm your host, Kevin Dubrisky, and we are going to absolutely kill it today. What is it? It's Thursday, August 6th. I hope you guys are ready to make some money. We're going to break down some markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ, gold. You guys already know. Any assets you guys want to cover as well, drop it in the chat below. Let me know how you are on the week. Are you green? Are you red? And are you ready to make some money today? Because Market in the Morning starts right now. Yo, famous, what's going on? Adam, good morning. Topi, hello. Piyush, good morning. What is up, guys? Good morning, hello. How are you? Welcome to Market in the Morning. Appreciate you all for being here as always. It is a team effort. It is a combination, and we are a community here with Market in the Morning. So, guys, smash the like button if you're ready to make some money. I hope you're excited. Let's start breaking down some charts right off the bat. Yesterday, we had a bit of a pullback, but we got to remember, pullbacks are normal in markets. Pullbacks aren't just normal in markets. Pullbacks are healthy in markets. So when we take a look at the S&P 500, when we see yesterday's New York session, we sold off and then chopped for a little bit. We don't want to just look at, we sold off yesterday. No, we want to look at the bigger picture. How big was the sell-off relative to the bigger move we had the day prior? And if you're looking at that move the day prior compared to the sell-off, this is nothing but a pullback. So we do want to keep that overall bullish bias, but we can't forget that markets will have pullback opportunities, and yes, sometimes even short opportunities as well. When I'm looking at the S&P 500 right here, I know that we're at all-time highs, right? We're at levels we have never seen before. And what do we do at that point? Well, if we don't have any historical levels to trade off of, we mark key psychological levels, right? 7,800, 7,825, 7,850. Yo, famous, good morning. Good morning, Malvin, good morning. There has been news on Fed expecting to raise rates in September. Let's take a look at it. Lauren, good morning. What's going on? Let's pull up that news or any headlines. First, we'll start with our rates and central banks. So September, we're looking at a 50% chance of no change. Right now, 50% chance of no change, which is a good thing. Before, we were looking at like a 60 to 70% chance that we were going to hike rates at some point. Right, so look at this. September increase. We were looking at a huge, this is 60% right here, 60% chance that we're going to get an increase on August 1st. This is less than a week ago. Now we're looking at 44% chance. So listen, things are starting to ease, right? Why is that? Well, when we take a look at things like oil, guess what? Oil's moving lower. It's going to have inflation coming down with it because inflation is so elevated right now. It gives the Fed room to breathe and not hike rates. Sadiq, good morning. Sands, top of the morning. Everybody, good day. Drop a good day like Mr. Kevin Warsh, man. It's crazy, dude. So we're looking for ES continuation. We know what's helping the bias. If you have been here the past few days, you know that the bias is really staying strong because of oil moving lower, because of progress with the Strait, Iran, and the US. We know global risk has made risk on flows favor major mega tech and US equities. This right here alone, guys, one of the main reasons I want to keep a more bullish bias right now. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ chart as well, really see what's breaking it down. Today is Thursday. We do have initial jobless claims, and that's going to be at 8:30, which is in 5 minutes. Now, initial jobless claims, guys, it's not unemployment data. It's not non-farm payroll. It is its own initial jobless claims, right? And it's exactly what it's called. It's people who are initializing, right, the jobless claims for the first time ever. So it's not repeat people, it's new people each time. So this adds into the non-farm payroll, into the unemployment. So it's not that big of an impact unless we get that big of a move. So if we take a look at our economic calendar over here, we could see initial jobless claims, bank forecast is 202. Prior was 197, minimum is 192, and max is 210. So what's the forecast? The forecast is directly in the middle of that minimum and maximum. Now, if we end up seeing a higher initial jobless claims, right? So let's say it's 206, 210, or anything higher than 210. That is bullish on US equities. If it's lower, that is bearish on US equities. So keep that in mind. And if inflation is dropping, no need to hike rates. Absolutely right, Piyush. You got it. What's up, Banks? Uncle Banks, what's going on, brother man? Good morning and welcome to Market in the Morning. If you guys got any questions, you want to look up anything, you want to ask Market anything, let me know. Let's start with asking Market, how is gold trading? How is gold trading and what's supporting the bias? Ready? We're going to ask it how gold is trading and what's supporting the bias. It's going to go through its market information first, all informative, no bias, there's no opinionated information in here. This is all important information. Sentiment on gold is leaning bullish at 42.68. Wonderful. We're breaking out. Remember yesterday, guys, I was looking for us to break out and close higher. We didn't just break out and close higher. From yesterday's Market in the Morning stream, we moved even higher from there. US and Iran war risk is supporting demand, while peace talks and softer US labor data raises hopes for a gentler Fed policy path. Watch a pullback to 41.70 for re-entry. Hawkish Fed commentary or resilient US data could flip the bias if yields stay elevated. All right, US-Iran peace talks, we know that's supporting. Softer US labor data, we know that's supporting. Opposing pressure, still high US real yields, capped further upside. You got to be a little careful on the real yields. Hawkish Fed commentary highlights need for tighter policy to curb inflation. So again, they're trying to curb inflation themselves, but if oil comes lower, they're not going to have to. Cool, let's see. All right, awesome, guys. Yeah, hopefully we get Seb or somebody joining us today. I know Seb was going to, maybe Nalab will. But guys, either way, run that like button up. I'm going to set us up for success today. Before everybody else joins, let me run down some levels for you guys, give you a quick analysis, tell you what I'm looking at. So whenever I see a big move like this, right, one of these huge outlandish moves, we consolidate, I right off the bat will know I'm going to put a volume profile over here, and that profile is probably going to look something like this. Heavy volume up here where price has been trading, lower volume in this area where price moved so quickly, and then heavier volume again over here. So let's see if we're accurate on that. That's pretty clean right there. So what am I looking for myself when it comes to trading these types of conditions? Well, because I know we're still bullish, we take a look at the ES. We did see a little bit of a pullback yesterday. I want to mark out our previous day low. I want to mark out our previous day high. And what I most definitely want to know is where's that next area of support. Now, unfortunately for the S&P 500, I don't really have that support till 76.40. So there's two ways I would want to trade this. One, I would want to look and see, can we sweep previous day low over here and then reverse and make our way towards previous day high? Or do we break below previous day low, chop our way lower, and head towards the next support level, which again, we're still bullish overall, but if sellers step in for a short intraday move, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get that move to the downside, even if it's short term, even if it's temporary. So I don't want to be the trader that's like, oh, we broke previous day low and we didn't reverse. That means over here we're going to pull back, or over here I'm going to grab along here and here and here and have it keep moving lower and lower on me. I want to trade the range that we see with our technicals, but I also want to know the overall bias, which is still bullish, so we do want to be very careful there. To be honest, I just used Ask Market 4 times so far in the Market in the Morning show. We are so dialed in that we're already prepared for most of the thing. Bro, right? We can literally use Ask Market to prepare and be prepared in like 5 minutes and be like, okay, now what? That's how quick and easy it makes it to prepare right there. Guys, we did just get initial jobless claims. Let's check that out. Let's see. Yo, Miri, good morning. Good morning. How are you and welcome. US Weekly pork. Nope, that's pork. Let's see. Economic calendar. Our initial jobless claims. Jobless claims came in 199,000. It was pretty close to the low end. Right there. Let's see. And it's still above prior. prior was 197,000. It came in at 199,000, but it is still lower than forecast. But the most important part, guys, is it's within the range. Yo, PMJ, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Good morning. Wise Fox traders, yo, Wise Fox is the homies. They are awesome, man. They're great people. Tony over there, great guy. He's on these shows on Mondays. Tony, he is a Spanish trader, part of the market team. He does market in the afternoons, a Spanish version at 2 p.m. Eastern. Him and his community do. So that's real cool. Very interesting. Love seeing that. All right, let's see. So initial jobless claims 199. It came in below forecast, which is more bearish. So again, slightly bearish tone, but remember, it is not a non-farm payroll. It is not a massive institutional data event. It is not something that's going to give us the craziest moves to the downside. So we will be careful with that. We could take a look too. Let's see what's covering and supporting the ES and NQ. Oh wait, wrong microphone. What's supporting the S&P 500's bias? And we'll do in parentheses ES so it doesn't pull up SPY for us. This is cool, man. Guys, if you haven't used it already, use it. Go to accessmarketedge.ai. And then I'm going to break down some key levels for us. Sentiment on the S&P is bullish, 77.53. Hormuz deal progress is crushing oil and inflation fears, keeping yields contained and the rally alive. Watch for Fed officials stressing inflation risks, or an Aramco supply shock warning could flip the bias if yields spike. Supporting factors: Hormuz deal, oil price drops, and Fed swaps no longer price in full September rate hike. This is one of the biggest things right here. That is a major supporting factor. So let's see. S&P 500. Again, there's not much key level-wise that we have that's in between where we are now and the support we have to the downside. So I would again want to be extra patient and just see how we want to play out. Do we want to find some support below previous day low for a fast reversal to the upside? Do we want, let's see, and again, that would be into this low volume area. We'd be looking for longs off the reaction, something like this over here to target new high of day. Again, reject previous day low, make your way to previous day high. Bullish bias. HTL is on the live call. Hey, what's going on? Hey, shout out. Happy birthday, JJ. Absolutely. Got to give JJ a shout out. Happy birthday. That's awesome. That's awesome. Have a great birthday. It's a great day to have a great birthday, JJ. Happy birthday to you and everybody at HTL. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day as well. All right, let's take a look. NASDAQ, S&P 500. NASDAQ had a bit more of a rougher pullback than the S&P. At this point, you see all these red levels. I'm deleting them. They're no longer relevant in price. Let's take a look right over here. 6 p.m. There we have our futures market open. So we are currently on a red day on the NASDAQ right now, right? We're seeing a pullback. We didn't break this recent high that we had over here. Oh, we did. So that's a good sign. Hey, Elsa, good morning. So we broke this. We made a higher high right here. We created a lower low. So we're coming off of our lower low. We created a higher low. A higher high. We'd want to see us pull back towards somewhere over here and hold up to then continue this bullish trend if this optimism stays strong. So we're keeping a very close eye on that. We will see. We'll mark out any support, any resistance. There was a major key level. I want to say it was right over here. That markets reacted very well to as resistance a few times on NASDAQ, gave some nice short opportunities, blew through it. We have some support there as well. Same with this 29,417. So it's really, in my opinion, a matter of being patient on something like the NASDAQ or ES, seeing how strong of a move we had, seeing how we blew through supply, but now we're seeing a pullback. I'd really want to be extra patient on a day like today where we're not forcing trades. We're letting the market come to us. Let's update our previous day high and previous day low. Previous day low is up here. Previous day high is up here. Our open price is already updated. Hourly candle. So same situation where I'm going to be gauging the S&P and NASDAQ strength by recognizing and noticing where it's trading in relation to the previous day low and the open price. If we're able to reverse and find some buying pressure above that previous day low, above that open price, I'm going to be looking for continuation. If we do, unfortunately, stay below that level and we chop around for a good while, I'm going to be looking to sell the highs and look to possibly get out at the lows. Because again, I'm not seeing much support down here until around 29,100, 29,150. So keep a very close eye, be very patient with today's price action. This is not a day that we're going to want to just jump into a random trade. Let's take a look at gold. I think gold might be lining up a bit nicer, seeing that it was finally able to break out with some strength. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. That is a beautiful daily time frame. Gold is screaming trend right now. The question is, can it hold this trend and continue? And we went over the dollar yesterday. We saw where the dollar's at. We see a key level here on gold on GC around 42.76. 4-hour time frame, I'm not seeing much. 2-hour, I'm not seeing anything. 1 hour, just breezing through these time frames to find some support and resistance. The support I have down here on the hourly is way down at 41.32. That would call for a 183-point pullback. Guess what? That's an unrealistic pullback, so I'm not going to be looking for that trade. Check other time frames, 90-minute, hourly, 30-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. Sort of getting a same situation where I see that, we had a nice move up. We were creating some higher lows, higher highs, and this is a great bull trend, but I'm not seeing strong support. I do have this area, 42.76. That's going to be my main zone that I'm keeping an eye on today on gold, is going to be that 42.76 for a pullback. Delete some of these levels. What's this 40? Let's see. This level right here is another key level that's right near 4,300 even. So again, ideally, I'd want to find support. Something I do notice with the recent price action on gold is its ability to hold these support zones. So take a look at this. Right now on gold, almost in that rock and a hard place situation where we have some resistance above us. We have some support below us. When we're holding the support, what happens? We come back and it looks like we're trying to create another support zone overlapping that prior one. So if this current 30-minute time frame, which does still have unfortunately 20 minutes to go, if this can hold higher here, push up, push up, push up, then guess what? New York session opens. I want us to open somewhere over here, pull back, find support, and we're taking those longs off that higher low. Could you review the Dow? Absolutely, I got you for sure. One is futures, one is CFDs. Yes, exactly. I'm so sorry, Da King. I didn't see your question. Yes, so there's no difference in price action. It's the same price levels and everything. I'm going to show you that right now. So let's pull up. This is GC over here. We're going to put up XAU USD on the left-hand side. And look, you see how it's the same price action, drawings off. Same exact price action, same exact price action. So we can mark it up the same way. And what you're also going to get at that point too, when you're looking at like market AI, is you're going to get the same bias and the same read. So we see gold above 42.50 as US-Iran war risk supports demand. We are bullish. And when we take a look at XAU USD, it's going to give us the same bullish, just a different price level. So good question. That's the difference. One's a CFD, one's a future. Some people trade one, some people trade the other. I'm a futures trader myself, so I trade futures gold. But if you're a CFD trader, Forex, whatever you want to call it, then you would be trading XAU USD. And same situation, right? Where we have that strong breakout here. Look how identical the daily candles look too. So not much of a big difference in them at all other than price. We're going to go over the Dow. See some questions for the Dow. I just want to find some key levels real quick first on XAU. So XAU, I'd want to see 4,200 even. This is a nice pullback area, lines up with the 42.75 on GC. If we don't get that, I'm going to be looking for the same exact setup that I just mentioned, and that's going to be the support area that just formed on gold. But first, what we would need to see is we would need to see us take out this high. So take a look. Move lower, higher, lower. We created a higher low right here, move higher, make a higher high from this high, pull back, and hold that and make a higher low there. And we'd be looking for longs to trade the range and the trend. So that's exactly what we want to look for, right? So that's what we're looking for on GC. I'm even going to add an alert over here so we're aware of it in case we're not looking at it at the time being. We're going to cover some Dow, going to cover some NASDAQ. I'm going to really break it down today, guys. Let's take a look at the Dow right here. What I want to see is I want to see markets bias. So let's see YM USD. YM stands for the Dow. Obviously, YM and DOW, the Dow, are very close together. It's pretty silly that they do that. Based on young money, I mean the Dow, bullish, reversal risk. So we do want to be careful on the reversal risk. We click Y. So lower oil prices from Iran, Oman talk eases inflation fears, but elevated U.S. Treasury yields keep equity valuation under pressure. Again, comes full circle right back to those yields. Higher yields make it much harder for equities to stay bullish. What supports the bias? Lower oil prices, we know that. Record Dow highs reflect strong AI and industrial earnings rotation. We were just at all-time highs yesterday on the Dow as well. Same with ES. So the Dow is a real strong contender and strong catalyst of the S&P 500. Whereas when we look at something like the NASDAQ is not near all-time highs. Take a look at NQ over here. NQ is not near those all-time highs yet. The Dow is right at those all-time highs. So more bullish on the Dow right now, right? So trend is our friend. We know that the Dow's got some more significant strength. Even when you're comparing the Dow to the ES over here, take a look. ES even had a red day yesterday. ES showing a bit more weakness, Dow showing a bit more strength. Take a look at some price levels. So I do see an area that tried to act as resistance right here. We see that we sold off, price pulled back, created a lower high there and pushed lower. At this point, a bit of a same situation where instead of using this to go short, I'd be looking to see, because our fundamental bias is bullish, I'd be looking to see if we can break above this level and retest to go long. And that could be a possible trade setup on the Dow today, given the right opportunity. 30-minute time frame, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Excuse me, let's see. 4 hour, not much. 1 hour, not really. 90, 30-minute. I thought I saw a 30-minute, but apparently I didn't. Nope, nothing really. Same concept, same idea. Bullish fundamentals, just not seeing proper support underneath where price is right now. So when I see that, just from my experience, a lot of times that could lead to some type of pullback. So the Dow, the main level I'd really be watching is this area around 54,700. Take a look at MRKT and see if it has that area too. So 54,400 for support on MRKT, 55,250 as price target to the upside. So it's at 54.32. That's right near our previous day low. Could look for support over there, even this 4 hour area. So take a look. This is where price consolidated before we had an impulse move up. When we look at a 15-minute, a 5-minute, what's that look like? Looks exactly like this. Chop, chop, chop. Massive move. Now remember, guys, when you see a massive move in the market, it didn't just happen because it happened. It happened because volume made it happen, right? Volume moves markets. So all that volume from this consolidation point gave us a rapid move to the upside. So all those people that couldn't get long or were possibly short in this area want to get out of their short position or want to enter a new long position. Take a look at it. Think of it this way. They were selling in here. Well, guess what? If they want to exit, they're going to buy in the same spot so they get out for break even. Not only that, but they're going to want to buy again to enter a new long position. So now we're getting double the volume in that zone to help give it some support and a bit of an idea. Something else to note is we have a pivot high right above it. So again, can we get a liquidity sweep where we break lower, hold this zone, close back higher, maybe we tap it twice on wicks on the 5-minute, take the long position, look to target even towards VWAP, right? That would be a nice trade that would take us from, let's see, a nice little 3-1, almost 4-1 right there. And that wouldn't be without us going to the supply zone. Now, usually when we trade supply and demand, we want to trade it zone to zone, level to level. That's how we want to trade when we trade almost any strategy. We want to know our entries, our exits, and our reasons behind it. So that's the Dow. I'd be looking at 74,680, 54,680 to 54,730 for resistance. If we break above it, I'd be looking for that area as support to target previous day high. If we do reject it, could possibly take some shorts targeting the lows of the current range. If markets open up and we don't make our way higher, we make our way lower first, I'd be looking for a sweep to go long near 54,480. Not financial advice, not telling you to just put a limit order over there, just giving you zones that I'm looking for a reaction to markets. If we get the reaction, we get the trade. If we don't get the reaction, we don't get the trade. So that's the Dow. Let's take another quick stab at the NASDAQ. I know we had a request on NQ. I'm a big NQ trader as well. We've been killing it on NASDAQ and S&P lately. So let's take a look. Let's dive into it, see if we see anything of relevance. So we broke this supply. Usually I would want to delete it at this point. Just going to keep it there. We're pretty far from that price anyways, about 500 points. Same situation. We get above previous day low and the open price over here. Looking for us to break a pivot, market structure shift, hold a higher high, pull back, create a higher low, and continue on that bull trend to the upside with that optimism, with that momentum. Now, something I do want to keep an eye on always when it comes to trading the NASDAQ is our equities chart. And right now in the pre-market, we see that Microsoft is gapping lower. We see Meta is gapping higher. Nvidia is gapping higher. Apple is gapping higher. Amazon higher. Google somewhat within range. But a majority of them, Meta, Nvidia, and Apple, and Amazon, are gapping higher, showing us some strength there, something to keep an eye on. So if equity stays strong, we're looking for the long. I just got a notification for gold. Let's take a look at gold real quick here. GC. Okay, so GC 30-minute time frame. Now, I wouldn't take this trade right now because this support zone didn't form until this candle closes green. So if we try it now, we'd be jumping the gun, and we could very much, in fact, break into and below the zone at this point, seeing how we just rejected. So I would not take any longs just yet. If you do want to possibly wait for a 5-minute to close, see if we close back outside this zone, create a long lower wick. Right now, like I said, though, I'm not a fan of this trade. I really needed the 30-minute to close higher, which it does still have 11 minutes. So give it a little time there. It is 8:48. Not much zones to trade at the moment. You're absolutely right. And you know what? What's that mean for markets? We're in a no-no zone. Somebody in HTL, tell Mel we're looking at a no-no zone on gold and NASDAQ today. It's really funny. Something I like, it's funny, ever since Mel came in, I will throw on a 50 EMA just to get an idea. Something I've recognized with that 50 EMA is it lines up a lot of times with the broken zones when we do break them. So just something to keep an eye on, be aware of. It's not my make or break. It's not my main reason to take a trade, but I will be aware of it. Visibility, turn it off on the daily. Visible on the hourly is fine. Cool. Let's also move this to add this indicator to the entire layout. Now it's over here as well. Look at that. See, gold's plummeting right now. That's why we don't just jump the gun on a trade. We don't just jump the gun on a zone. We said this zone had to be created and held first. Right now, this is not a zone. This area is, and we held this area a few times now. Take a look. Once, really a few times over here too. Over here. So guess what? That becomes our resistance if we can break it and start to move back lower again. But we have to be very careful. I'm definitely leaning much stronger on the buy side for gold than ES and NQ. Like ES and NQ, I could definitely see us possibly having a pullback or a little bit of a red day today, catching a lot of traders buying highs after that huge spike up. Gold, on the other hand, seeing how strong it was, the momentum we had behind it, ideally on gold, I'd really want to see the deeper the pullback, the better for a long entry. And that's what we're looking for because we're trending, because we're looking for that bias to hold and everything in between. Gold does have 43.47 to the upside for resistance. Right now we're holding this 30-minute support area around 43.14. We break it, we go short for a short-term move. Again, possibly want to look for longs off of key levels. Be very, very patient. We had beautiful moves recently on the NASDAQ, on the S&P. I don't want to call it easy price action, but easier market conditions that we have been able to capitalize on. When we're able to capitalize on easier market conditions and we notice those conditions are starting to rotate, that's when we want to start to slow down on our trades, adjust our risk, and even start to size down a little bit. I was on gold from 40.47 and closed it at 42.96. Market played a huge role in this trade. The new Ask Market feature is amazing. Yo, Ibrahim, that's amazing, bro. That's sick. Let's see, gold. Take a look. Were you in, what is it, GC or XAU? Let's see, you said 42.96. So possibly GC? No, XAU maybe. XAU USD. Yeah, 42.96. So I was in gold, 42. Oh, from 40.47. Okay, 40.47. Damn, you were from 40.47 all the way down here? All the way down there? You got 200 points, 21,000 ticks. No way. No way. Get out of here. That's amazing. Well done. Great trade. Let me find our Discord. Come join our community, man. Come send a screenshot. Drop a testimonial of that. That is absolutely fire. Yes, sir. Bro, just printed on that. Bro, printed on that. That's beautiful, man. Good job. Well done. Throw a screenshot of that, man. Yo, if you have Twitter, post it on Twitter, at us on Twitter, and we'll repost that for you. Great trade. Well done. Very well done. Something to note, volatility index has been struggling to sort of find that inverse correlation with the ES. Yeah, absolute money. Absolute money right there, man. NASDAQ, really gonna have to wait for New York session to open. Excuse me, man. One of those days. You ever have one of those days where it's just like, whew, can't get up? But it's alright, we're gonna get there, man. Gotta wake up, snap out of it. Got my caffeine here. Cheers, everybody. Gotta kill it today. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's put ES back over here. ES, I'm really looking at that 77.45. Massive liquidity sweep area. I always tell you guys about, and if you're new here, what I call it is called low-hanging fruit. And what I refer to that is I'm talking about when we're looking at price. And let's say we're looking at over here on the 5-minute. And we see this chop. Guess what? When we're this tight of a range and we're creating a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and they're all stacked on top of each other like this, guess what that tells me? That tells me all the traders, all the King's Horsemen and all the King's Men, all the traders that were long over here, they have their stop loss right here. Long somewhere over here, they have their stop loss over here. Long anywhere over here, they have their stop loss over here. So low-hanging fruit is equivalent to all those people with that stop loss, right? All that low-hanging fruit, a quick liquidity sweep, all those people thinking, oh, what? I went long overnight. Market told me, and then we swept it and continued in our favor. Use markets insight to gain the trend, and then take a look at where markets are actually trading. So your own technicals have everything line up. Guys, it sounds like we've got a knock on the door over here. I think we have the lab joining us right here. Nil.
Knock. I'm here.
Knock.
Thanks for opening the door. How's it going, man?
Going good, bro. How are you?
All good, man. All good. Ready for another day in paradise.
Yes, sir.
Exciting
You
time
know
to
it.
show.
Let me get your screen up and running, man. Tell us what
Yeah,
you're looking at today.
absolutely. So I got my eyes on gold, guys. I don't know if you guys saw this rally on gold, but we've been talking about this for a long time. So I don't know. Drop a one in the chat if you like. Yes, we talked about this for weeks before it took place. Like we talked about as soon as we tapped into this area that we were gonna start slowing down, that oil prices were gonna come down. And guess what's happened to oil prices? They've continued to come down. Gold has continued to go up. S&Ps continue to rally. Nasdaq continue to rally. This is what we were talking about for the past 6 weeks, is that the price of oil continues to go down. Interest rate cuts will eventually start getting priced in once hikes are still or are getting priced out. And what that now calls for is, look at gold. Gold's broken out of that range that everybody was, even I got chopped up in, dude. Like at the start of this quarter, where's this range? I got chopped up trying to get those buys, right? And even I had to learn some lessons within this tight range as it got tighter and tighter, but my overall directional bias remained the same. It was just a few execution issues I had. So it's the same principle even right now, is that gold is bullish. So I am looking for areas where I can take those gold buys. One of those areas for me is 42.25. So this is a very clean psychological area. We can see buyers came in right over here as well yesterday, and then we rallied up to 4,300. Now, we talked about this, that as soon as we break out of this range, 4,200, 4,300 were going to come instantly. And they came in the same daily period. Now, it's not normal. It's not out of the ordinary to get a deeper correction after having such a large corrective structure. That's completely fine. And that's what we talked about for the entirety of it, that structure, once it shifts, you're gonna start seeing that that structure shift happen on the intraday and higher time frames, just like we saw when markets started selling off and gold went bearish. Any sort of pullback got sold. Any buying attempt got sold off. And this happened for the entire quarter. Keep that in mind. This started in April and then it went all the way till end of June. That's one entire business quarter in the markets. Now it's the same principle. Did we just get an entire shift from the macro regime that this environment was in to now us trending hard all the way up to the next key price points, being here, right, up here, and really making our way back up to 5,000s? That's what it's looking like. Now it's going to take more than just this week's catalyst to take that peace deal. It's going to take more than just that. It's going to take continuation of oil coming down. It's going to take rate hikes being priced out via data to come. One of those key data reports is NFP and unemployment rate tomorrow. This is a very key indicator. Both of these are very key indicators for the US labor market, which, as you know, the Fed has two jobs. Their job is to keep inflation at a baseline rate of 2% year over year and to keep the labor market stable. Now, what is an unstable market? A labor market. An unstable labor market is something that maybe you have higher unemployment rate and lower job growth. Both of these is when the labor market is in tension, is in stress. So when that starts to happen, the Fed is more likely to cut in order to stimulate economic activity and economic growth. So if these numbers tomorrow, banks are already forecasting unemployment rate to come out same, but the maximum is still 4.3, right? On NFP, we're expecting a forecast of 80,000 jobs, prior being 57. But take this in, the minimum is 10K. Why is the minimum 70,000 below what the forecast is? Why is there such a large variance? And same with on the other end. Why is it 60K above the max? So this is what I'm talking about, is that if we skew hard on either of these directions, you're going to get that excess volatility. Just like we did on CPI, just like we did on PC, just like we did on on the June NFP. Now, gold, when we're looking at gold and how gold has positioned itself, we are just seeing gold retrace right now, right? Gold is just setting up for those buys, whether it sets up at 50s over here, because 50s is always a psychological level as well, whether it sets up as 50s or like over here, if we start getting movement like this, right? But what I would want to be cautious of is that I personally want to see a move down to 25, 20s, 30, like that area to me would be sweet. Take out these buyers, grab that liquidity from here, and then start pushing up. And where would I look to target is these highs. The reason I would look to target these highs currently is because we are becoming a bit overextended for the week, especially going into NFP. And the reason I'm saying this is because if I look at market market's telling me that gold is a bit overbought. Now, why is it overbought? Okay, yes, this peace talks is keeping support, right? But we've had a big rally recently, meaning chasing new longs is riskier today, right? So pullback risk, don't chase. Now, something like this could be the pullback that we just end up getting that takes gold back to 3,000. So not 3,000, sorry, 4,300 up here, right? And maybe this is the buy play, like we were talking about, a bounce off of 50 and then continuation. So if you're a scalper, if you start seeing this sort of price action, that would mean that you could take a trade like this. Now, if you're waiting for a deeper pullback, by all means, that's completely fine as well. You could look for a position here, right? But this is still valid. You have to keep in mind that not always will the market go to your price point. Market can turn from anywhere. It's just a matter of how do you position yourself in that moment, or do you even choose to position yourself? If you're like, you know what, I want to wait for 42.25 and I don't want to enter here, perfect. That's the price point that you're waiting and you're willing to enter a buy at. That means that you don't think 42.50 is a good buy price on gold, and that's completely fine, because maybe it's not, and maybe the market doesn't go up from here. But even if it does, you got to make peace with that your decision was that you were going to stay out until the market came to 42.25, and maybe tomorrow NFP it comes down there, grabs liquidity before we push up, whatever. But the point being is that you built that into your rhythm, that that's the price point I want to wait for, and I'm not going to take anything otherwise. Now, gold over here is where you'd want to see some sort of structural shift if this level was to hold. If this isn't and we start pushing down, we're going to go in my where I see next is 42.25, and that's where I would like to see buyers defend that zone. If we don't, then we get that deeper pullback down into these highs from previously, and also testing over here. So it's all about watching and adapting to what the markets are doing, because the market could either push up from here if enough buyers defend this area and just quickly drive it up into FOMC prices. Remember, this is June FOMC, and we're back at those price points now, where the markets were pricing in a hawkish wash, and now the markets are completely fading out that play. So look at the price points, look at where technicals are, understand what the fundamental drivers are currently pushing gold, why it's a bit of a risk chasing today, right? Chasing rather than waiting. So instead, what I want to do is wait for a pullback. Now, if I can wait for a pullback, wherever that may happen, that's where I'm going to look for the position. Now, it's the same thing that Kevin was also mentioning, was that if I pull up ES, now where did ES go? I gotta fix this.
You still gotta fix your watch list?
Still gotta fix my watch list, man.
Guys, while Neil pulls that up, don't forget, vote on our poll. Are you bullish on gold right now? 1 for yes, 2 for no.
Yeah, let us know what you think, what your analysis is. If you ever want to share your analysis, send your trading view link that you can share from here, copy link. We'll open it up, go through it, give you some insights as well, and just guide your analysis if you have any questions about it. So same with ES. What do we talk about? That once this corrective structure broke, and we were talking about this on FOMC, that even if FOMC faded this move, go buy it. Go buy ES, because we're bullish, and this is likely the catalyst that we needed. And here it is. Look at this. Now, all we need to keep in mind is what's happening here. We're just ranging here. There's nothing much happening. We created a high. We're ranging. For all I care, dude, S&P could come down to here. It's a buy. It could come down to here. It's a beautiful buy. Comes down to here. Oh my God, that's a gorgeous buy. You get what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I use Fibonacci as confluences too. So if we look at Fib on this area, now look at this. This lines up with 38. This lines up with 50. And this is your 76, right? 76, 78, whatever you guys use. But look how beautifully this lines up with so many different confluences. And then when I also go to market and I check the bias, it's continuation. So regardless whether we pull back from here or push up from here, you just want to make sure you're entering at a price that is acceptable, where buyers are looking to actually take this and rally up. And that only gets shown by actually waiting and seeing how price can really move in the current time frame. Now, coming back to gold, we don't have any major catalysts until NFP, right? NFP is the next major catalyst that we have. And for that, we're going to be waiting to see how market setup prior to it, right? Now, gold is pushing a bit deeper into the zone, and that's what we'll keep our mind and eyes on. Is if the structure starts to shift, this is where that lower time frame zone is for us to push up here. If this breaks and we start pushing lower, this is where I'm eyeing the attack or see how price reacts around here.
Awesome.
Somebody says, do you also use EMAs? I don't use EMAs. I just like to use price. Mainly also just like looking at the number, dude. Like,
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
look at the number. When you see gold at 3,900, and then you're like, that's not a sell. Like you can tell that's not a sell, right? Like that's a good buy. So here looks like we're about to go straight through this. Okay. Now, so we go straight through this and we line up for those buys, and we'll see how we test this price and if buyers are able to handle this and hold this. If they aren't, doesn't mean that the move is a sell, right? Doesn't mean that you're going to chase a sell. It just means that the market is going to go to a price where buyers are willing to accept and take it as the buy price, right? So whether that's 4,200 or whether that's 4,225, 4,200, 4,150s, wherever that may be, it's your job and it's our job to identify it and attack. And how can we do that? By looking at lower time frame movement in the market. Now, if look, you're right now under 4250, right? Let's just put that right there. And these are the ranges we're playing between right now. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. These four levels are what we're focusing on right now. Now, there's a few things that could happen. One of those things that could happen is gold pushes down to here. And excuse me, we'll take it level by level. Okay, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves and look at 7 different levels. So if gold pushes down to here, you get this sort of confirmation. You get a double bottom. You get a shift in price action, right? That's likely looking like it's a setup to push up into 4,300 again. Okay, so this is setup number one that we could look at. Another setup is that if we just end up taking out these lows here and we push right back above 4,250 and we can maintain above it and we snap back right above it, then that looks like a setup to push into 4,300 as well. Okay, so this is the two things that we're focusing on right now for this session. Now, if and only if we pushed a bit lower, that's when you look at to invalidate either of these setups, right? That's when the number one first setup also gets invalidated. So here now we're approaching this area. Now, what we want to wait for is that sort of confirmation and how we react. Clearly, we didn't get a push up above 4,250. That's why we had drawn that as like a possible scenario that if that happened, we want to adapt to it. That if we can clear it, then we can set those buy orders and position ourselves once we snap back above for those scalp trades. Up until 500 pips to 4,300, which is massive, right? You'd probably have like a 1 to 4 risk reward in that case. Now, what we're focusing on now is the push down to 4,225 and whether buyers can sustain that, because we are bullish on gold, on risk assets as well, right? This is just overbought because we've had a big rally recently. So anytime we have that, you don't want to chase a move. You want to let the market come to your price point. Market over here is showing 41.70, 41.18. So if these come, but there's also areas that I have marked up on my own technical analysis, in this case being this exact area that we're digging into to the left. So this is what I'm going to start watching now, guys, is if the market comes here and buyers start taking this, I'm going to see if I can position myself for those buys, because this looks like a pretty extreme liquidity move. But we'll watch this right here. This is where things start to get interesting. So I'll let you know if we're looking to enter, what I'm looking for. But basically, exactly as how I explained it. If we start getting this sort of movement, this is your setup for those buys, right? This is how you would want to position yourself in the market, based off of fundamentals aligning bullish due to peace talks and Hormuz Accord hopes support gold demand, softer U.S. labor market data with ADP, chances of a gentler policy path forward. So we're still bullish. This is just a technical pullback because we are so overextended, because we have rallied over 2,000 pips, 2,000 points in just a matter of a day. So this is a much needed retracement and reaction. So if the market now comes here and starts reacting to it, this looks like a good area for us to take our buys once given the right confirmation, right? But sometimes even you'll hear me mention is that sometimes I take a buy if we're approaching close to it, because the algorithms care about price, right? They don't necessarily care. They don't see candles. When's the last time an algorithm has eyes to see candles? These guys, they just notice price and they use various statistical models to make the best possible mathematical decision in the moment, and as well as like data that's incoming, macro data, statistical data. All of this gets used, and that's what quantitative analysis and quantitative algorithms do, right? So if this doesn't hold, right? If this area doesn't hold, you have other areas as well, like this 200s, 4200s to like this 80s, right? 75s, 80s is like a good area as well where price could dip into. It just depends on where the market finds the support. And that's what we use technicals for, is that to understand whether the market is finding its support here or not. All right, Kevin, do you have anything to share on your side?
I wanted to not. Yeah, I was gonna say not necessarily on gold, but I do want to share Ibrahim over here in the YouTube comments. We told him to send over. He took a great trade on gold before. He said from 40.60
Oh,
to
fantastic.
42.95. Look at
Amazing.
this, man.
Amazing, amazing.
And
40
he's
60 to 40 to 95.
Yup, that's it. That's it. Crazy
Incredible.
trade.
That's
All from,
incredible.
he said, thanks to market headlines and new Ask Market feature, market is a free money printer for
Wow.
traders.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, man. That means a lot. Very, very glad of your success. And that's just a testament of what happens when you lock in and when
That's
you are
it.
paying attention to what's actually going on in the world, right?
Yep.
And this isn't something that anybody can do. This only you can come to the markets, you can trade your technicals, but if you're just on aligned on the side of fundamentals, all you need to do is watch market, and then you have more conviction in these plays, right? You have more conviction in being able to take these buys on gold despite us selling off from 4,300. You're not spooked by that fact. You understand what I mean? You're just further analyzing the market from a multi-dimensional perspective instead of having a one-dimensional view of the market, up or down, up or down. No, man, it's deeper than that. There's forces that are weighing on either sides that dictate where the price currently sits of the market you trade. Whether you trade NQ, whether you trade ES, all of these are supported by the same factors: progress on Hormuz reopening drivers, oil slump, and support growth stocks. Like, these are known drivers, right? They're the same across whatever market anybody trades globally. There's not a single market that's not impacted by what's going on right now or what goes on with policy, with overall geopolitics. So everything is all interconnected. And every time you tell me it's not, I will show you 100 examples of the same move happening across every global asset class based off of one catalyst. So again, it's very important. Things that we talked about weeks ago have now played out perfectly. No one said I told you so, but this is a part of the game. Like, it's just a part of like having that forecasted view. Like, hey, this could really happen if these conditions start playing out. Trump starts bringing oil prices down. The deal takes place. This could really push. We could really push higher on gold and start reversing this move. Now, if rate cut bets start getting priced in and hikes getting priced out, then we can continue higher. So these are all moves and theories that are based off of data market gives you and guides you with, right? We've been telling you that we were bearish for all of the last quarter. And then as we got into here, it became such a range. And we came out with the range neutral. And when things finally start taking off, gold has now gone bullish. And now even market's telling you it's a bit more overbought bullish, but this is looking like a good chance for gold buyers to protect this price with 30s or even dig a bit deeper, 25s. But this is even a good defending price, where if we start double bottoming here or showing some sign of exhaustion, then this becomes a good buy area right here.
Awesome. Awesome. What a breakdown. Guys, make sure you run that like button up. Show Nalab some love, man. Absolutely love rocking the streams with him. Great analysis, great breakdown. He's the master of gold.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
know,
dude. I'm just a student of the game, man. I make
bro, we
mistakes.
all are. Always.
I tell you when I make a mistake. I'm like, guys, I had a psychological mistake. Like, this was purely a psychology play. I broke my rule, and this is why I lost, right? And that's always what it usually is that as long as you're aligned right side on the fundamentals, then it's heavy lifting is done. Then it's just
Yep.
like, okay, I just need to follow my plan. And sometimes you'll end up breaking, and you're like, oh shit, man, why did I do that? And instantly you're like, fuck, bro. You know? So
Yep.
it's all a learning game, dude. Even some of the best traders I know fuck up and then they rebound 10 times harder. So
That's
it's a
right.
part of the game. Look at gold now. Gold looks like it's just ready to push up, honestly. But I would like to see like either a double bottom, but this is solid buys in my eyes right now. This is looking like a solid buy right from this zone right here where we tapped into, and now it
Yeah.
looks like we can push higher in back up into our 4,300 price point. So now for people who maybe aren't in or aren't looking to get in yet and maybe are thinking, you know what, I'll wait till we can confirmly defend this price and then push up above 4250, then what you'd want to do is look for a retest of something like this where you're above that level, you come retest it, quick higher low, and then you ride it to the next key level, which is 4275. Remember, don't focus on the 4300. First, we have to there's a few things that first has to happen. Buyers have to defend 4225. Like that has to happen before the buy move happens. Then we have to clear 4250. Okay? Once we clear that, we got to clear 4275 or this area last time where sellers came in. So you see what I mean? You have to take it level by level. Nothing comes quick in the markets. And a lot of the times the trade that you take will play out 4 times longer than you expect it to take. So don't get, that's why we'll be patient. We're waiting to see how price develops. That's why we drew this many arrows, because not always will it happen at the same time.
Yeah. Awesome. Ibram says, thanks so much. Means a lot coming from you guys. Been following market in the morning since the start and have learned a lot. This is just one of many trades to come. Not there yet, but have to stay locked in.
Absolutely, man. That's it. None of us are there yet, you know? There's always like what is the destination? That's what you have to like what is there really a destination, or is it just chasing the best version of yourself? And at the same time the byproduct of that is that you keep leveling up and then you keep pushing your goals higher and higher and objectives higher and higher. So it's there's no end goal, is it? Like, you know? Like that's one thing I
Yep.
think one of my biggest realizations this year was there is no like what is the true end goal? I don't know. It's just like the
Right.
game is
There
so
there
fun.
is no I did it, I'm done. There's
Yeah,
what can
the
be
game is just
next.
so fun to play, man. Regardless of what your profession or career is, it's just fun to build something great. Lawrence said, HDL trader, so cool to have my zones already mocked now, aligning with the labs analysis. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Yeah, it's solid, solid, and a lot of these, like a lot of the times, regardless of how we trade, right, we will have the same levels marked up. Like Kevin and I trade differently. Our entry styles are different. But the way our zones are marked up, oftentimes 9 out of 10 times we'll have the same levels. So it's fantastic that if we can all objectively have similar levels, then you know we're doing something right. If we come from different communities and we're all aligned on the markets, then we're seeing it in a good way. As well as now we're aligned on the fundamentals, the technicals. You can see how all of that becomes such a symbiotic relationship where it's not one or the other. It's you use both, and it complements anyone's trading style. It doesn't just you have now. It's not like, oh, I have to implement this into my trading. No, this just complements how you execute. It gives you that higher conviction. Or if something happens where you see a random spike, you instantly know because it's in breaking news. Pierce, a question. Nalab, how did you overcome the self doubt or attaching your self worth to your P&L when you were performing poorly? If you can share some lesson, dude. I don't even think I've like overcome that like self doubt or attaching my self worth to like my goals and objectives. I think that is still something I'm very much working on, and it's like it's it's extremely hard, right? It's extremely hard, but I've gotten really good at if I take a loss or if I take a series of loss, I don't let that reflect in my emotions towards life or business or anything. Like it's not going to impact how I speak to others. I've seen that happen, dude, where if someone takes a loss, they're just a dickhead to everybody. They're just a dickhead to everybody
Yep.
around them. And
It ruins their day.
ruins their day, and that should be the last thing that should be happening. You get what I mean?
Yep.
Like you need to be able to
Separate.
control yourself, maintain yourself emotionally. Now, what we were talking about, right? I want to come back right back into it, but gold buys are playing out right now. Gold buys are playing out. I'm in from this third candle right here, 34, no, 35 and 38 is where I'm in from. And that's taken while I was telling you guys about gold rejecting this. So we gave you the analysis. This move is happening. Now keep in mind, if we double bottom, that's a perfect buying opportunity as well, right? This is where it gets cool. Now we're getting that play out right now, but this will have to be a play above here. Now, to go back to that question, there's times like start of the quarter, dude. I started off with a $16,000 loss, 16 grand. Start of the quarter, I was overconfident. I was trying to front run those buys, and I lost $16,000 in a span of 2 weeks. And the lesson learned there was I was breaking every rule possible because I was over my head. And now it comes down to the lesson. I just need to continue to follow my process because I can 100% reap the rewards of it, but if I don't follow it, I'll 100% reap the possible failures of breaking my plan. Okay, so I'm still working on that part where you're not attached, you're overcoming that self doubt. But dude, one of the biggest quotes I mentioned it before is there's no room for doubt in one's mind because doubt causes one's own demise. And you keep repeating that and you keep telling yourself. So every time you come to a doubt, it's like you have to. The only way forward is through it. You go, right? Even Kevin's had so many doubts in his life. Like we've all gone through a series of doubts. Dude, one of my biggest doubts was me leaving my job, quitting a high paying job and starting market. I'm like, I have no idea if this works out or not. Right? But that doubt, nothing good would have come if we just listened to that doubt. What's up, Marco? What's up? What's up? Guys, everybody check out Marco's new vlog. Check out his new vlog. Super sick. This guy, amazing, amazing guy. Amazing trader. Check out his YouTube as well. But welcome, Marco. Hope you're doing good, man. So gold again, guys. This is playing out here. If you get a double bottom, that's your chance for entry, and then we're looking to ride that back up into 4,300. Why? Because gold is still bullish. It's a bit overbought, but it's bullish because of U.S.-Iran peace talks and Hormuz Accords keeping support demand, right? But you also have opposite weighing forces. But we've talked about this for the entirety of July that we were gonna bottom out here and the fundamentals were pointing towards a break towards the upside, and we got it. We talked about it. We in every single example here, man. We can go through CPI right here. We talked about a soft CPI, guys. We said it's pricing out rate hikes. We're gonna start getting that push towards the upside. We guided you through FOMC. We mentioned that the markets are taking this as a dovish tilt, that they don't give a fuck, that they held rates, that wars came out hawkish markets don't care. We walked through the entirety of it. Then we got the peace deal confirmed, right? That it was going to happen. And we started continuing to rally. And there's that break now that we got towards upside. Now, we could still pull back here. We could pull back here. But the point being is that gold is now a buy. You can start looking to hold your runners. You can start looking to position yourself for those buys back up to 4,500, 4,600, 5,000. The point being is that even if gold pushes here, if gold was to come down to 4,200, I'm going to look for buys. If it comes to 4,150, I'm looking for buys. If it comes to 4,100, I'm looking for buys. The point being is that we're in a bullish regime. We're not in this bearish regime anymore. We're not in this ranging regime here where we're fighting two different forces. Tomorrow, we have NFP. Now, if NFP comes out high, that's very bullish for dollar because that means we have a strong labor market and the Fed doesn't have to cut rates, and you'll see the market pricing in those hikes. Same on gold, it's the opposite reaction. Where you get 140 on the maximum side, above that, very bearish for gold, right? A lower NFP is going to be bullish for gold. So our optimal case for gold would be a low NFP, a weak NFP, and higher unemployment rate. And that would then continue to price in those rate cuts to come. A higher unemployment rate, so if I go here, a lower unemployment rate is what a higher unemployment rate for cuts. Sorry, so tired, man. I'm getting this shit mixed up. So if that was the case, then you would get the markets pricing in those cuts, and we would push higher on gold. But now let's say you get the opposite, where you get strong labor market data. If you get strong labor market data and gold spikes down because markets are pricing in higher for longer, I'm still going to look for those buys wherever gold bottoms out, whether it's here whether it's here, I'm going to look for those buys, because markets are not going to just change off of one data report. They're not going to fade out this move over here. Seb mentioned a solid point. You'll never figure it out. It's about being prepared to show up and perform every day, win or lose. Yeah, man, that's very, very true. Gold here, again, following our structural roadmap that we were talking about, just seeing how we react around these price points. This is a key price point, 42.25. We could bottom out here and then push up, or we could just continue up from here if we snap back above 42.50s. But that's the next key level that's in our way before we get back up to this price handle over here. So that's been the analysis on gold. Told you where we're entering from, or where we've entered in. Our analysis for ES for on the intraday, that even if we pull back to, it's just taking it level by level, right?
Yeah.
Level by level. We could pull back to here, previous all-time highs, retest, push up, or deeper intraday buys, because that's the regime we're in. Dude, how many times did we talk about this? That we just need one catalyst. When that catalyst is ready and the PCO is ready, 4,800 is going to come right away. We drew these levels months ago, man. Like literally months ago. 4,800, readjusted it. But the point being is that we were prepared, we were aligned, and even with NQ, dude, we talked about this. Bad NFP higher, employment will push NQ higher. And even last week, the exact moves playing out, dude. This is because we're focused on the macro regime and then translating that directly onto the chart, right? So gold, again, beautiful, playing out with our buys. We're in those buys from these price points here. If you haven't entered and you're not looking to enter right now, what you can do is wait for buyers to confirm above 42.50s. Once price is back above 42.50s and they can maintain above it, then you can look to ride those buys from there to 42.75 on the break and retest above. I'm in from here. Even if we push a bit lower, that's completely fine by me. Like, this is what I'm talking about, is that sometimes structure will play out however the market wants structure to play out. I'm not in charge of it, but it came to my buy price point. I told you that I'll be looking for buys, and when it comes down to here, I took the buys. We mapped out a roadmap, and it's playing out perfectly. So the opposite could also happen. I'm not saying that it's all fun and dandy now just because we've got one reaction out of here. Is that if buyers can't continue above and we don't even hold here, then we get that deeper pullback. And that's exactly what market's also pointing you towards, is that we could potentially get that 41.70 pullback because gold right now is overbought. Yes, the fundamentals are pushing gold towards the upside, but because we've had a big rally recently, chasing new longs is riskier today than it was yesterday, right? It's all relative to what's happened in the recent time. Now, in the recent time, we've gotten a massive rally on gold to the point where, like, holy shit, from Tuesday to Wednesday, god damn it, man, almost 3,000 pips towards the upside, and every key level, break, retest, buys, because we had such a massive range and we finally broke out of it. We finally had enough catalysts that all came together, and gold's like, I need to erupt right now. Because everything was lining up, we had the Fed do a hold. Markets take it as a dovish hold, right? Oil prices coming down because Trump Iran peace talks ongoing, right? Markets fading out any type of escalation that happens because a lot of it's priced in, okay? All of these things, midterms coming up, and now you're right there. Gold has enough to erupt towards the upside, and it does. Now, all we're waiting for is to align ourselves on the intraday, on the higher time frame pullback, so we can continue riding this all the way back. And guess what's going to end up happening? A lot of this move towards a downside that happened last quarter will get corrected, will get priced out, because this is global macro in play. This is how we attacked the financial markets because of the rate hike fears due to higher inflation, higher oil prices, and the war. And now that we're shifting out of that regime, now we're attacking it on the other side, and we're going into those buys. Yeah, the break and retest of the balance range is going to be a gift, 100%, man. Even if we push a little bit deeper, like right here, and retest this, 41.10s, oh my, rubbing my hands together, ready to take those buys. But that's what we're watching. for the coming weeks, because we also have Jackson Hole Symposium as well, end of this month. So that's something we'll keep a lookout on. So we need confirmations above 42.50 for this to continue towards the upside. If we can get that, amazing. If we don't, look to retest these lows or even potentially lower to 42.25s. This key zone that we have drawn over here. Okay, so that's just something to watch out for. But I am in these buys from 35 and 38.
Nice. Awesome, bro. Let's get it, guys. New York session is open. Getting a little bit of a move here.
Yeah, like big lesson for me too, honestly. Like in this past month, man, I perform horribly when the range becomes tight. So that's where I just need to, when I milked these profits, the best thing for me would have been to honestly take like 2-3 weeks off right here. This range here, I should have taken out because I was, and this is all where the lessons come in, right? You can only, and one of Steve, just what I love, one of Steve Jobs, guys, oh my God, I want everybody to listen to this. One of Steve Jobs' quotes that he said, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and it really resonates with me, is that you can only connect the dots looking backwards. Is you can't connect them in the moments. They all make sense in hindsight, right? So don't ever be difficult on yourself for not figuring it out in the moment. Is that the dots only get connected when you're looking backwards, and you can really piece things together. So here, if I had just stayed out or not had the same expectation of getting those 1,000 pip moves that we were getting on the downside and shifted my mindset, I would have not taken a $16,000 loss over a span of 2 weeks, right? I would have not been chasing, would have been in a different mindset. So it's all about adapting and doing that reflective analysis after you've gone through something or after a win. Now it's also on the opposite side, like if I take a loss in 1 week, maybe next week I just write it off and I don't trade at all because I don't want to go into the same range, same emotional state, right? So these are just lessons that I learned as I do my own, progress in my own trading as well, right? Yep. So Kevin, sorry, you were saying something?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. No, trade the range, be careful, understand when market conditions are in your favor. I took a short on ES off that open. Nice profits already. It's about
Nice.
11 points in profit. Looking to have this continue. Beautiful move right here. Really nice.
Beautiful move. Yeah, one thing I'd watch out for is as we approach like 7,700,
Yeah.
just as like previous highs, you'd be retesting those highs, and you're gonna get some algorithmic reaction there. So that would be like a good take profit, or I would be wise because if we snap back above here, like if we just do something like a liquidity move towards the downside and we snap back right into this range, I can see us pushing right back to these highs.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, I got out right there.
and ES has just S&P just been fucking eating up sellers. So just to be a little careful on that end, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just got out right there, locked in some profit. Shorted
Amazing.
77.55, got out 77.41. Real quick move off that 30-minute rejection area.
Yeah, so this is what honestly I would like to see for a continuation for those buys would be a push, like exactly how what's happening right now, break back above, push back into this range, claim it, and then buyers jump in, or a pullback towards the downside that could set up those buys, whether that's from 76.90s or whether that's from a bit of these lower price points that we mapped up before. Regardless, it's a pullback buy regime. That's what we're in. US equities, that's what we're in. Gold is currently at 42.50s. Still haven't pushed directly above it. Once we really clear this area, then it makes sense. But yeah, those buys are playing out beautifully. So we'll continue to hold and monitor those. Where are we taking those to? We're taking those to 4,300 towards the upside. But obviously, we have obstacles in our way, such as 42.70s. And then we can get to 4,200 and 42.50s currently where price is currently reacting to on gold.
Yeah, I love where gold's at and where gold's reacting right now. Even the S&P, I'm real happy with that exit. I got out at 41. It bottom ticked at 40 and is now back up to 50. So nice reversal. Again, just acknowledging that, okay, I'm trading this range. I know I'm taking a short, but if I'm going short in, like you said, a bullish regime, that's got to be a scalp. We got to know if we're trading with the trend, we can look to hold longer. If we're counter trend trading and we do have a good position that moves in profit very quick, take it as a scalp. Don't try to hold thinking you caught the top. No, be patient. Take it for a scalp, level to level. What else we
Yeah.
looking at? Oh, mine's on the screen. Let me get yours back up on there.
Yeah. So, guys, first of all, excuse me, the amount of feedback and usage that you guys are doing on Ask Market, we had to
Chill.
increase the limit to 50 chats a day because everybody was hitting their 10. Everybody hit their 10 within the first hour. And instantly we were like, shit, man, like we need to give them way more usage. So everybody has 50 chats a day. Feel free to use it. If you need more, hit up my team, man. Let us know if you are hitting your limits. If you want more, we are coming out with a ton of improvements. Ask Market this week. It's gonna be more personalized for the day. Like if you have NFP coming up, it'll be like prepare me for, and it'll say your market, like whatever your market is, whatever you trade for NFP. NFP in 20 minutes, prepare me. You know, these types of much more dynamic prompts. Wow, look at gold.
Dang. Yeah, that's gonna continue.
That's going to excuse me. That's going to continue towards the upside, targeting 4300s. Solid play that we did from this buy zone. And then yeah, that's global macro as we were talking about it. Is when you just align yourself with the fundamentals, and then everybody who's trying to short sell gold because we just broke this level is going to get eaten up, and that's the play that happened. We just got now. If you're looking to buy here, you want sort of retest of 4250s before we push to 4275, and that would be a good trade as well. But right now, solid plays on gold. We're above 200 pips above my entry at 35 and 38. So I'm just gonna hold those till 4300. Like that's my zone in
Let's
trades.
go, bro.
I haven't moved my stop loss to break even yet, because even if, let's say, something like this happens where we push up into here, come down and retest, I'm fine with that. Like I'm fine with that because I see the intent of buyers here. I see buyers are here, right? The intent is pretty clear right now that the buyers jumped in from here. So solid plays from right here. My stop loss is 100 and 150 points.
Clean, bro. Clean. I flipped some longs on ES. That thing just pumped right up. Beautiful. Nice. Just trade that
Yeah,
right.
right. Yeah, this is what I meant. Like this is what I was talking about, right? Like as soon as if we get a break right, if we snap back right above that range and we retest this now like this in the lower time frame,
Yep.
that's your buy right there. So you want to watch out lower time frame price reactivity as we dig a bit deeper, maybe something like this, retest and push up towards the upside.
Awesome. Yeah, looks great.
Solid analysis call on ES2. So if you guys
Yep.
saw that break above, something like this plays out perfectly. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we
So
see what
that's what we were just talking about, Helen. With ES is pushing towards the upside right now. We got a false breakout towards the downside, and now we snap back above that range, just like the analysis from earlier. If you were looking for those buys, you wanted to see confirmation of it above that range. Gold is just beautifully pushing, guys. Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's clean. Guys, if you're not in gold yet, so I'm not in gold myself, I do want to be in it. It looks great. I'm probably going to wait for the 30 minutes to close, see if we get some follow through on the next. Definitely don't want to be buying the highs just yet, especially if you're looking at a 5-minute chart. Do you really want to buy the high of a 5-minute candle that has a minute left?
Yeah, so I'd look for this pullback to
Yeah.
4250. And ES is ripping. Yep. That retest on ES is happening right now, by the way. Like if we start getting some bullish closures and sellers weakening here, and we can't, if we close back below this range, then I'd be cautious again. Like if we start closing back below here, that's not to be cautious, but otherwise it's just reclaiming this price handle. I'm not in ES, but I'm just watching. I'm in gold, and I'll be holding this. So this is what I meant. Like we need to clear 75 before we even get to 4300, right? So
Yep.
even here, if we get this retest, that's a good buying opportunity for scalpers to take advantage of this 250 pip range, $25 range on gold, or we could possibly push down a bit, double bottom, and that's fine too because that's just structure, right? Like that's just market structure printing. But come on, guys, W's in the chat for a good gold call. So far, it's played out 300 pips, $30 move on gold in just a matter of, what is this? Less than 30 minutes.
Yep. Crazy move, man. Real wild. ES rejecting. ES is in a range right now. Previous
Yeah,
dip low.
as long as we can remain above these lows, that's where it's like it's good to get in on these retest buys that we were like mentioning right here. You retest
Exactly.
if this secure holds, and then you can gold is beautiful. Wow. And now look just how that looks like on the intraday. You tap into a zone, you get that liquidity, and buyers push up. You take out these lows here, you take out the liquidity from here. And I don't know if Marco is still here, but Marco is super sick at the way he trades with liquidity. And I know Marco is probably looking for buys on gold as well when breakups one of these lows and structures. So WW in the chat,
Hell
Dubs
yeah.
in the chat. Amazing, amazing work, team. This is teamwork. It's teamwork. We come together. We call out trades. We ask market. Prepare me for NFP tomorrow for gold. We let market. Oh, I totally. My voice didn't get caught. Non-farm payroll starts preparing us. We look at what's happening. We take the trades. We analyze the markets. We come out successful. If we take a loss, we learn from it. And
Yep.
bam, man. This is honestly the best. One of the best places to come to trade. Like no other
No
community does
doubt.
it like this. Seriously.
Truly is. Truly is. No competition.
Literally no competition. So great work. You guys can start taking some profit as we head into 75. I'm gonna hold till the highs of this range because that's where I would love to see gold push into, and that's my intraday conviction target.
Nice. Beautiful. Man, I'm range flipping ES like crazy right now. I just got in some more longs. It's already 5, 10 points in profit. This is
Yep.
clean,
See,
man.
there's that retest, guys.
Yep.
There's that retest. Wow, beautiful. So that's the sellers got trapped. If the sellers didn't exit like Kevin, they're trapped.
Yeah, oh
These
yeah.
guys are praying right now. They're on
They
their
brought
knees
you to
praying to
market.
God. God, please turn this market around for me. And guess what? God doesn't just give you what you want exactly when you want it. You know, He's gonna teach you a lesson. If you're saying turn this range around, He's gonna stop you out. He's gonna be like, "Did you learn your lesson yet?" And you're
Yeah.
gonna be like, and then if you did, you'll get those gifts, right? So ES continuation towards the upside, gold continuation towards the upside, Nasdaq
Clean.
continuation towards the upside, probably BTC continuation towards the upside as well. Yeah, probably we're gonna start pushing up on BTC as well from here. So again, all these markets move the same. Dollar continuation downside. Go even we'll probably see oil start to come back down after we have this intraday range fill. And yeah, solid plays, team.
Yep.
Amazing effort. Thanks for showing up again. This is what
That's
it's
it.
all about.
That's it, man. Show up every day. Show up even if no, I love to get your idea on, I always tell people it's just as important to know when to trade as it's important to know when not to trade.
Absolutely. 100%. And I'm a prime example of that, dude. Like if I had just sat out after my loss, I would not have gone like chopped up in a range here.
Yeah.
I would not have gone chopped up. And these are just lessons. But then next time something like this happens and the macro regime is about to really shift and change in directions, I'm going to be more cautious with my positioning and be more patient. I'm going to be more patient. That's the thing, is that a lot of times I could have just left my positions here without a stop loss and I would have come out profitable rather than fighting the market. So, yep. All
Yep.
right, man. Gold's gone, buddy. Gold's gone. No, I'm kidding. Don't
No.
have FOMO. Don't have FOMO, dude. I missed this entire move past 2 days. I didn't take this at all. This
Yeah.
entire move. This is the first gold trade I've taken that I was like, oh shit, I got this now, right? So keep
Nice.
that in mind. Is that I looked at this. I'm like, man, fuck it. Like, there's no need for FOMO. I know where we're headed is back up here. We're headed to 5K. So
Yep.
does this move really give me FOMO? No. Like, it just gives me more confirmation that we'll have buys playing out further because now we just got solid confirms of those that break out of that range. And I know we'll eventually get a retest wherever that retest may come from.
Yeah. Yep. Yo, who said that before about looking for the pullback on gold? Bro, I'm in the same boat, man. Listen, I'm not in gold, but I was trading ES. Always give yourself, multiple markets. Don't give yourself like 20 different markets to flip back and forth. Then you're overwhelmed. You don't know what you're looking at. 3 solid markets that you can say, okay, I do my pre-market preparation on all 3 of them. If this lines up, I'm taking this one. If this lines up, I'm taking that one. If this doesn't, then I'm not wasting my time on it. If this moves without me, I'm not FOMOing into it. Markets are going to give you more opportunities. And if you're looking at 2 to 3 different markets to trade, that gives you just that many more opportunities. So do not force trades when you don't have your entry or setup.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. No FOMO at all. Markets are going to retest and it still has upside. Absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm echoing. Echo, echo. Let me make sure my mic's on the right thing. No, I'm on the right one. You hear an echo?
No, I'm good. Kev, I gotta hop off.
No,
I
you
got
don't.
a meeting I have to prepare for. But amazing call,
Yes,
solid
sir.
work. Let's kill it. Thanks everybody for your feedback on Ask Market. Continue giving it to us. Continue hitting up my team, telling them to fix it, make it better. Let them know anything you need. And also, yeah, prepare for gold, prepare for dollar, prepare for what you trade for NFP. All I
Yep.
asked Market was prepare me for NFP tomorrow. I even wrote NFB, like I said in my voice, and it picked up NFB. And then dollar, it gave me the dollar index chart. It showed me how to prepare greater than the beat, what it means for dollar, tighter for longer, Fed expectations, right? What it means for gold, because that's the market I primarily trade, and market knows this, so that's why I pulled up gold for me,
Yep.
right? And then here we go. Now I'm fully prepared. Now that's how you easily prepare for NFP and major economic releases, as well as just have your morning briefing done on what's happening in the market. So, guys, thank you so much for having me on. Kevin, I'll let you take it from here. Uh,
No, thank you for everything, bro. Yo, I had a question about Ask Market. So I
Sorry?
asked Market something the other day. I said, "What's the bias on the S&P 500?" Then pulled up SPY. If somebody has in their favorites futures, is it possible to make it so when you ask
Yeah, absolutely,
Market?
man. We'll,
Okay,
we'll, we'll definitely get that fixed up.
cool, cool.
Awesome. Sounds
Hell
good,
yeah.
man. Thanks for the reminder.
Absolutely, bro. I got you. Have a great rest of your day, homie. Appreciate
Oh,
you for
and
jumping
everybody
in.
who asked for just want to say, everybody who asked for the 1 minute time frame, you can see it now. Okay.
Oh yeah, you
So
got one
yeah,
minute
yeah,
up.
we
Let's
got it that same day we
go.
added it. So thank guys. That's what I
Jeez.
mean. You let us know what you need, and we'll get it.
That's awesome. That's
All right,
awesome.
take care.
Take care, no. Be well. Yo, I hear that echo. I see what you guys are talking about. I think that's my voice picking up or picking up no lab's voice on my microphone. It should be gone now, but let me change some stuff. All right, guys, is it still echoing? How's it going? What's going on? W's on these ES longs. I'm waiting to see if we could scale higher. A nice close above this area, a retest for longs is the goal. I took those longs off the lows, boom, moved higher, took shorts off these highs, boom, moved lower. Literally range flipped ES for a little while there. I'll show you guys the entries and exits on that. Very clean, right? Short off of this resistance, got out near previous day low. Got in longs once we started rejecting previous day low, out at resistance again. Long on a retest, got out up here. Obviously, it is still continuing. I am going to be looking for another retest to take this trade and continue the bullish bias, right? We are bullish. It's a bull market. We do not want to be fighting it. Guys, man, make sure you run that like button up. We're about to surpass 50. You guys are absolute goats. Waiting for this ES to move higher here. What you guys see on the charts, so these zones I mark out myself. These over here is an indicator I'm working on to mark out those zones automatically, which would be pretty dope for myself, for you guys. Give some insight, give a breakdown, make it easier for you guys. So I'm looking for a retest of 77.60 right now on the ES for longs. Again, following the trend, VIX is moving lower, weighted index is moving higher. Take a look at our equities right over here. Apple moving higher. Microsoft holding VWAP. Nvidia close to new high of days. Nvidia close to all-time highs right now. Yo, it's getting there. 236 is all-time highs on Nvidia, guys. That is massive. Let's mark that out. And remember, guys, if you are trading the S&P, you are trading the Nasdaq, you are being aware of the weighted index, which is our asset, which is a weighted index chart of Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. It gives you that insight to say, okay, we're holding trend or we're failing trend. Let's see, what are we looking for? 62 to 58 as entry. So 57.50 could be possible stop loss. This is what I'm looking for on ES right here. I'll let you guys know if I do take that. This is where 61, around 57.50 stop loss. Looking for a nice clean move up from that point. If we do get that pullback, I will take this entry. And guess what? If it stops me out, I'm still in good profit on the day. It's W day, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We got to wait. Guys, remind me when 10 o'clock rolls around. Because again, I'm looking for this 30 minutes to close bullish. The next one to give us continuation. So I'll look for a 5-minute pullback if I'm looking for the 30-minute continuation. ES getting pretty close to that pullback area I was looking for. I'm not in it yet. I'll let you guys know. Getting very close. It is actually trying to tap into it as we speak. Nvidia pulling back, a lot of equities pulling back here, but still overall more bullish. I think it did tap into that zone. I did not take the entry yet. See if we get one more push into it and hold. But yeah, this is looking pretty clean. See if these longs want to hold. We are near resistance up here, so we are getting a bit of a pullback. Come on, ES, move right into like 61-ish, 60, and then all right, we're moving into it, trying. Here's 61. There we go. I'm going to take it long there myself. And again, stop loss is at a secure spot where I say, if this continues lower from here, I'm out. I take a paper cut. If it holds up, then I'm buying on the pullback versus buying at a high. So I'm in a long on ES right here off this pullback. Looking to see that momentum continue higher. Nice reaction so far to it. Just need to see us sustain and move back up on the 5-minute. Let's close out this... There we go. Nice. Good entry so far. Look at that, guys. Entry right into profit. That's what we like to see. Beautiful. Beautiful. Amazing, guys. Amazing entry on that. Let's see if these buyers can continue. Need to see Nvidia flip back bullish. Rest of the equities hold along as well. Boom, ES. Let's go, guys. We're killing it this week. Killing it. Let's see. Just got to see some strength, though. I'm not getting out randomly. Entries here, stop losses down here. Looking to see us try to continue higher, even if we get towards 77.77. Nice little lucky number right there. 77.80. Passive sellers over there. So again, looking for that's previous day's VWAP area. So we can take a look. Be patient. Let markets play out. Know what bias we're trading. Weighted index continuing higher with strength shows me equities are pumping. I have my equities chart over here. Microsoft new high a day. Amazon's pumping. Google's trying to pump. Meta's trying to pump. Apple's trying to push green. So is Nvidia. These should all be supporting factors towards the S&P and NASDAQ on this rally. So just being patient now, letting markets come to us, not forcing any trades, not stopping out early. Only stop out if it hits stop loss and only get out if it hits take profit. Waiting right here. Waiting right here. We are trying to reject this resistance point. Did we get above it is what I would like to know. We did not get above it yet. That is right over here. So a nice move above 77.66, and I'm going to have a lot more confidence that these buyers are trying to hold it. We mentioned earlier the low-hanging fruit and the previous day low. We swept those and reversed. Now I want to see us come take out that low-hanging fruit that's to the upside. These people that are in shorts that have stop losses at these recent highs, I want to see price move right through them. It's getting pretty close to stop loss. It's actually testing around right now. My current stop loss on this trade is 57. 57. So I'd like to see these buyers step in. If they fail, guess what? I get stopped out. We look for our next trade setup. Definitely getting some weakness here. We're going to have to see buying volume step in and squeeze us higher. If we don't get that, then yeah, we're most likely going to hit stop and be more range bound today. So just being patient, letting it play out. We are at previous day low on NASDAQ and rejecting. A little bit of a red flag there, but the weighted index is still holding much more bullish. So again, 30 seconds left on this 5-minute. It either dumps and stops me out or it continues higher and we're in favor and we're in the right bias and the right trend. Just waiting, letting it come to us. Again, either stops me out or it hits take profit. There's only two options. When you take a trade, you have to be prepared to take that loss. If you're not prepared to take the loss, you're most likely too heavy in size. And yeah, you're going to end up blowing your account because you didn't know how to size properly. Here we go. It's heading towards stop loss. That's fine. Stop, like I mentioned, is at 57.50. Yeah, that 5-minute was pretty weak there. Looks like it is going to try to hit that stop loss. I'll let you guys know if I get stopped out of this ES trade. Looks like it's getting pretty close. Bro, it was a tick away. It was a tick away. Am I going to be surprised if it hits stop loss? No. Am I going to be surprised if it hits take profit? No. Am I prepared for anything? Yes. And that's how we have to be, always in these markets. Always, man. Nvidia still trying to hold-ish. Nasdaq still trying to hold. ES back in favor. Again, it was a tick away from stop loss and ended up holding for now. So could still move lower. Would like to see us try to hold. We closed above this area, retest. I'd want to see us move back above this area. If we don't, I get stopped out. And again, we look for the next trade setup. We don't force anything. Did 10 o'clock? It's not 10 o'clock yet. Still waiting for that gold pullback too. So we have different opportunities. I always tell you guys, different opportunities in the market. Don't chase, don't force. Know your entry, know your stop loss, and that's it. Buyers can't take us above from here. I'm going to have a lot of confidence in these longs as sellers failed down over here. Back in profit on this trade. Didn't get stopped out by a tick. So we're waiting right now. Could definitely size down at this point, seeing that we are trying to reject this area, but I do think it's just going to try to stop hunt me. Yeah, here it comes. Yeah, all right, stopped out there. Completely fine. We're not forcing. We're not rushing. Like we said, we're letting markets come to us at this point, and we'll just let it play out. Gold, wanted to see gold pull back. Let's see GC. GC 30-minute. What I was looking for is this area right over here. Purple zone, right near the opening price level. So a nice close up here on the 30, a break lower on the next 30-minute candle, a retest, and then a push higher. ES and NQ, off of some key levels, not really seeing much solid support right now. So I'd rather let it play back out to the upside than take re-entry versus trying another long here, getting stopped out, another long, it's not worth it to trade like that, guys. Never is, never will be. Nvidia's pushing lower, equities are getting weak. Be patient. We have to be patient traders in these market conditions. Thanks, Kevin. Some gold and SPY buys. We'll hold until tomorrow, NFP. There you go, bro. Good luck. Good luck. Be careful. Take care, Sands. Be well, brother, man. Don't forget, guys, join our Discord community. I'm going to post the link right over here. It is a free community, MRKT AI Discord community. Please come join it. Come say hello. Drop your winners. And tell us how market has helped you. Great guys, great guys. Staying patient, not jumping in random. Pray I don't get slammed. Bro, you're in my prayers, but too bad markets don't move off thoughts and prayers. Markets move off of hopes and dreams, and they do the opposite of them. VIX still trying to move lower. I will emphasize again, VIX has been giving us that inverse correlation in where it's not giving us the inverse correlation. VIX is moving lower while ES is trying to move lower lately. VIX is moving higher while ES moves higher. We're getting that weird same direction on ES and NQ. You're still holding, is it Junta? Big seller stepping in, so I would be careful off the 77.60 on ES. We have about a minute 20 left in the 15, so I would be careful with that fact as well, right? We could be rejecting here on the 15. Nasdaq's 15-minute looks like it's got a lot more strength. 30-minute hourly, those also close in about a minute, so just let this close. We could also see, do we have any economic data, which I don't think we do today at 10. We have wholesale inventory. That's nothing major. Take a look, ES and NQ. Very bearish, very bullish. So above is bearish, below is bullish. We'll keep an eye. I do think we want to try to hold at some point over here. I wouldn't be completely against a re-entry with stop at the recent low we created, so some type of trade like this on a re-entry if we do end up holding again. But if we don't end up holding, I don't want to jump in down here just for it to dump on me for the next 30 seconds. Watch, you're going to see. See that? Boom. Why force and why chase? If I took this long here and got stopped out, why would I take another long knowing that it just ran my stop? It just told me my analysis was funky. I'm going to listen to markets. It did just touch VWAP, which VWAP is a much stronger price level to keep an eye on. Nvidia dumping. All of our equities have turned a bit more bearish at this point. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Microsoft's pulling back, Nvidia pulling back, Google's bullish, Meta's pulling back, Apple's bearish, Amazon's a bit more bearish. So yeah, guess what? I'm going to be a bit more hesitant on these longs. Tried to hold VWAP. I'm just not a big fan of this current price action. I'm much more interested in seeing if we get a pullback on gold for the continuation trade. Let's take a look at gold right here. There we go. Gold is continuing. I'm not just going to take a random long on gold myself. I don't see a setup. I'll let you guys know if I do. ES, if price action was supporting longs here too, I would take it long on ES one more stab here, but I really got to see buyers actually continue up, higher high, higher low, all that stuff. Inventory came in lower than expected, which is bullish for ES and NQ generally. But remember the strength of the actual report. This is not a real report that gives us that big of a move. Here we are trying to hold VWAP again. So at this point, I would be interested if we try to hold to take one more long. We just really need to see equity supporting this bias too. Now let's see if we get back above 62.25, 62.25. I would take some longs. So 62.25 above this zone, take some longs, see if we want to try to hold. Got to get our equities holding up here. Nvidia, Nasdaq also rejecting. Just be patient. We saw that we have a bit of a rejection point up here that's making it hard for the markets to continue with easy trend, right? Look at that. Bang. 30-minute time frame. Still a bit more bullish than bearish, but it doesn't mean we can't be range bound. Hourly flipped back bullish. What's your higher time frame target on the S&P? Well, listen, higher time frame target wise, I'd want to target that key psychological level, 7,800 even. Other than that, it's really at a tough point right here. Really at a tough point right here where we don't have much resistance above us. We don't have much support below us. Very wish-washy. We did flip that previous day low is what's keeping me bullish. We're above that previous day low. We tested it. We reversed off of it. We're just lacking that buying volume, in my opinion, right now. Nvidia trying to hold VWAP again, but we're getting another headline there. We could see what headline that is, if it's anything relevant. SpaceX signals need for significantly more semiconductor chips. Oh, okay. So SpaceX, which has already shown it hasn't had a profitable quarter, they need to spend more money now. That's a great thing for investors. Not. So we'll see. Does it have a bearish impact on SpaceX, or does it have a more bullish impact for those semiconductor stocks, which lifts the entire market? Getting a buyer here at 77.62 at the moment, but I'd hate to just grab a long up here for it to stop me out. So just be a little patient. A little patient here. We got 2 minutes left on this 5 minute. Nvidia's somewhat trying to hold. It's just really not that convincing, in my opinion, that we're trying to actually hold bullish right now. I took some nice profit, just took that little loss, still in profit on the day. Do we really want to be the traders that force trade after trade and get stopped out, stopped out, stopped out? Absolutely not. We want to wait for our setup, our predetermined trade off our predetermined levels, and that's it. I do look at how we were holding VWAP to the downside before. Now we're trying to hold it to the upside. So again, this 5 minute wants to hold higher. Yeah, I'll look for longs. But this 5 minute, guess what? I could take the next 5 minute, the 5 minute after that. Be patient. Know that when we're trading, we're looking at timing in the market, which is 5 minute timing, 15-minute timing, 20-minute timing, 30-minute, hourly. You don't have to be in a trade every second of the day. Remember that. Markets reward the patient, not the impatient. Because guess what? We could wick lower right here, stop hunts one more time, and then pop up. We have 50 seconds left. Let it close. Equities, for the most part, are still trying to hold a bit more bearish here. We see Amazon trying to move lower, Nvidia trying to move lower, Microsoft trying to move lower, Apple struggling, Meta struggling, Google struggling. These are all reasons. Yeah, exactly, Mike. You got it. No zone. Take a look at gold. I'd really want gold to give us a pullback for an entry long, maybe 43.16 for GC. Other than that, I'd rather wait for ES to actually give us a breakout versus all this crappy price action we're seeing right here. 8 seconds left. If we do start to follow through, I will take it on this next 5 minute. We are trying to follow through here. That's a tough feel right there, man. That's an interesting ass candle. Yeah, I'm probably going to be leaving this alone. I'm really not a fan of this whole rock and a hard place situation when it comes to these markets where we have resistance above us, support below us. Sellers keep failing to bring us lower. Buyers keep failing to bring us higher. Do we really want to buy high now, sell low? Absolutely not. We never want to do that. Equity's still too bearish for my liking as well. So just wait. Maybe gold gives us a better opportunity. Take a look at gold right here. So gold, I would want to see this 30-minute get back above this yellow dashed line. So guess what? I could wait for that. I could either wait for it to get back above and hold above. We could add an alert up here. Or I could try to go long somewhere below to find support. See that pullback on ES? NASDAQ rejecting that previous day low to the downside still. Yeah, we want to be careful. We don't want to be buying high right now. We don't want to be buying high, but we also don't want to be selling these highs because these aren't really major highs right here. So a very patient market we have to be in. I do like I mentioned VWAP, a double test of that level and hold to possibly go long, but we need to find some strength. We could have that double bottom right here and then completely drop right through again. If you trade something like an opening range breakout, we're hitting the orb high level is at 77.59 right here, but that doesn't mean shit if it doesn't have a confluence. Has a bit of a confluence with this broken 15-minute resistance that we had. So take a look. This is the area that I took short off the open. We broke it. We tried to close above it on the 5-minute, and we're trying to retest, but we're really struggling. Again, I'd rather be long than short, but equities need to start to turn around here too. Weighted index trying to hold. Give me a little bit of confidence here. Give me something, man. Give me something higher quality than this garbage we're seeing. Let's start rallying. Let's get some buyers at these highs. There we go. There we go. It's time to squeeze. Those sellers failed. It's time to squeeze up. 77.67 is a nice price target to the upside. Recent highs we had. If we blast through that with strength, we're going to see some continuation. Don't buy these highs right now. Be careful. Yeah, look at that. Every time we move up here, what happens? These sellers are knocking us down from these highs at the moment. So again, rock in a hard place. Resistance above us, support below us. 6, 7. Yes, sir. I need to see a strong squeeze above these levels. We get a squeeze above these levels, we're in the clear. If not, then yeah, we're probably just going to end up moving lower. Gold pulled back to that possible entry point. Oh no, broke higher. Gold broke higher. I'd almost want to try the ES longs on this breakout with stop at this recent low we were at to see if we can be squeezing up. 2 minutes left in the 5-minute. I just hate trying to buy high like this. So just be a little patient. If you do take the trade, size appropriately. Don't go too heavy. Don't risk more than you're willing to lose per trade ever. That's just without say. Nvidia still trying to hold lower. Got to see Nvidia flip back bullish. Google trying to hold lower as well. Amazon trying to flip. Microsoft trying to flip. Meta's trying to hold bullish above VWAP but struggling. Nvidia's trying to flip there, but it's very 50-50. These market conditions are not in our favor as strong as they have been the past few days until we start breaking out of these levels. NASDAQ moving, great. That's a great sign. If NASDAQ could start moving with strength, we want to see that follow through on the ES. So I'm in a light position, looking to see if we could have some continuation. Stop loss is at 59 at the moment. Getting a little bit of a move here. Really want to see a strong squeeze. If we get a squeeze up, we're going to get a very nice rally. I'd like to see 77.80. Got to squeeze through 77.67, and I'm not even saying that as a joke level. There are sellers sitting there, so we need to get above that with good volume. If we don't, we're going to just range back lower again. I'm definitely curious to see what the Dow is doing right now. And oil. There's the Dow. There we go. Dow is rejecting, but Dow is actually near a support level too, so that does give me a little bit more, not clarity, but a bit more confidence that these buys might be trying to hold. But we'll see. NASDAQ at a key level, opening price. Got to see where we close against this opening price up here. 5 seconds left. Trying to hold, trying to squeeze. Come on, give us a good volume. Give us a good pop right here. Struggling way too much. Way too much. Nice 5-minute close, that's for sure on the ES. Nvidia trying to hold back bullish. Let's see. And NASDAQ continuing higher with strength. Bam! There we go, ES. Come on, get above 67. We just hit 65. Got to get above 67 and above all these other levels we had up here too. Like we mentioned about that low-hanging fruit, we took out the lows. Now we want to take out the highs. And some longs on ES, staying patient, trading the range flipping. Right up at the 6-7 level. We're a point away from there. 3 ticks away, getting close. Got to see volume up here. I almost want to kill the trade up here and re-enter on the break in case we don't break it. Because if we don't break it, then we're going to reject this point. But we have those other areas right above us, so it does give me a bit more confidence that price action and the volume analysis and our fundamentals are all leaning more bullish right now. Here we go. There we go. There it is. There it is. Bang. Huge. W's in the chat. Big old W's. Get above this 6-7, get above 6-8, and we should be in the clear. If we don't get above 6-8, I am going to manually close up here for quick little 5-point profit on ES. NVIDIA is trying to hold, but just got hit back down. NVIDIA, NASDAQ pushing higher. That's great. We're real close to taking all these highs out up here on the 5-minute. We just have that resistance that we're struggling into right now on ES. Moving stop loss up to 77.60 right now just to play it a bit more safe in case we get a crazy reaction. Yo, I got you. Absolutely, bro. We're getting buyers up here. I want to see this squeeze up above 77.67 right here. If we don't get it, we're going lower. I'm moving my stop loss to 77.63. That's in the money stop loss. This is a no-lose trade. Nah, we're struggling hard on this, man. But these sellers also aren't bringing us lower from this point. I want to see these buyers win. NVIDIA trying to hold bullish and then getting back bearish. Holding bullish, going back bearish. 50-50 on NVIDIA. Definitely not a big fan of that. Buyers aren't giving up just yet. Sellers are definitely giving them a run for their money, though. I liked the break above. I said I want to see a break above this area and hold. We have 2 minutes left in the 5-minute. Plenty of time for it to wick lower or even break higher. So I'd want to see that break higher with volume sitting above us. Let's see. 62 could be possible stop loss. I have my stop loss at 63 right now. I might be front running the stop loss a little too early there. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll move it to 62 to just play it a little safer. 62.25. Yeah, no lose trade entry was at 62. Got to see these buyers step in, take us in. If we make another high off this 5-minute, we're in the clear for a nice trend trade here, and we can look to hold. If not, then I would be extra careful, guys. Got you. Thanks. I'm at 1% profit. MNQ locked account. No trade today. Good job, Mohammed. There you go, brother, man. Well done. Well done. Good job. Well played. We have buyers at these highs right now, too. I love to see that. Here we go, ES. Let's break it higher. Ooh, a lot of equities taking a turn to the downside right now. Need to see this hold on ES. Moving my stop loss to 77.6350, which is right below this current 5-minute candle. So if this 5-minute candle flips bearish, I'm out. If it holds bullish and we close higher, I'm holding it. So that's how I'm trying to manage this trade right now. Definitely don't want to let this winner turn into a loser, but I also want to try to hold this winner given the fact that we're in a more bullish market environment right now. So let's see. Be a little patient. 40 seconds left in this 5-minute. Equities, like I said, did take a little bit of a hit right there to the downside. ES seeing some buying volume. VIX moving lower, which does help confirm trend on ES. So I'd much rather try to hold this trade right now versus just getting out for the sake of getting out. But if it stops me out of this 77.63.75 is my current stop loss, stops me out for profit. Yeah, it looks like it's going to try to stop hunt that. 5-minute closes in 6 seconds. Ooh, not a fan of that 5-minute close. Let it do its thing. Did still close green though, so I'm still going to keep stop loss below that 5-minute low. Again, it looks like it's going to stop hunt that. Yeah, it did stop hunt that. So I'm currently out. I'm not against re-entering. Markets are still bullish. I saw a huge pullback there. Look at that. It's retesting the zone. again, if anything, is that the retest of the volume sweep that we need before we continue higher, and to, again, retest and give us a better entry. Let's see. NVIDIA holding. Equity still somewhat bearish. Weighted index holding higher. And NASDAQ does have a bit more strength than ES does at this point. So just something to keep into consideration. Could try a re-entry off that low, but I would just be so careful, man. These markets are definitely a bit more choppy than they are consistent. And we got to be able to recognize that and either take advantage of it by trading the range or take your profit, call it a day. Kevin, can you use market account, PC and mobile when outside of... Yeah, of course. So it would be the same account, it'd be the same email that you use to log in and everything. But yeah, you could use it anywhere. It's web-based, so you could use it anywhere. I really wanted to see these sellers fail down here on ES. You know, it was a quick move right off the 5-minute open, create this wick to the downside and rally. But these sellers are trying their best right now to hold this move. Let's see. NASDAQ holding up. NASDAQ holding up is the one thing giving me confidence right now. Equities trying to flip back bullish. I again would hate to be the one to just jump in along, get stopped out, jump in along, get stopped out. I like this purple area for support, so if we could stay above it, great. Let's see, gold. Gold pulling back. Glad we didn't buy highs on gold. There we go, ES. Did use that area as a retest entry. Nice. Okay. Okay. Are we soaring towards 77.70 now? We took out 77.67. We took those sellers out, so we would have a much clearer trend and much easier push above that area now, especially with that NASDAQ strength. It's very clean. Struggling big time on ES to break above 77.67. ES on a wheelchair, yeah. Yo, ES is on a pedestal. We got to get this thing to pump. I'm moving stops on this to 77.60. I re-entered once we started holding this low again. So re-entry, stop loss. Since we had that fast of a reaction, moving stop up because I want to see this hold back bullish. And if it goes back bearish, I'd rather be out for the smallest of losses. Minimize your loss, maximize your reward. That's how we should always be trading. Near your take profit on NASDAQ? Good job. What are you targeting? This pre-market high over here, 29,677? There we go, ES. Come on, ES. You got a few more price levels to go. There we go, back above 77.67. There we go, nice. Come on now. We got to scale through 77.70. Boom. There's 68. Struggling big time on ES, man. Need to see some follow through. I bet it's because the Dow is probably struggling. Yeah, Dow's struggling too, but still trying to find support down here. So if the Dow could find support and continue higher with ES and NASDAQ, ES is going to trend higher. We got in on those lows on this long position. So again, one of the main reasons I want to try to hold in this trade is because if we can start trend trading, we're in the right bias. We're in the right move. Here comes some volume at these highs. Really got to see stronger volume above 77.69. Playing between two funny numbers, 67 and 69. Come on, ES. You know you want to break out. NVIDIA's getting weak again here. Weighted index struggling a bit. NVIDIA's still pumping. 77.67. Yeah, I'm thinking of killing this trade up here into some strength. I'll let you guys know if I do manually exit. I wanted to see one more quick pump up, but unfortunately markets don't care what we want. So we have to sort of take advantage and trade what we see. Let's see. 3 seconds left in this 5-minute. I'd want to see us close above that zone. We're struggling to. See if we get a spike right off this next 5-minute open here. It's trying. NVIDIA's pushing lower right now. Yeah, I'm not a fan of NVIDIA pushing lower. It's like one of the main reasons I wouldn't want to be in this trade. If we get a spike up, I'll move stop loss to to within the money. 6-9 favorite key level of big players. Yo, it definitely is. Big institutions only mark out key psychological levels that end with a 69. Yo, gotta see these buyers hold on ES, man. We're struggling big time here. We have levels right above at 77.69, another 2 points. Kev, what are you driving? NASDAQ, Nvidia's going down. Microsoft new high a day. Google's moving higher. A lot of the other equities are chopping their way higher, but I know that Nvidia struggling is one of the main reasons I want to get out of this trade. If Nvidia could turn back around, that's going to help support these buys. NASDAQ's still pumping. The Dow is still dumping, unfortunately, which again is making it hard for ES here. Yeah, I think ES is going to stop hunt again to the downside before another rally back up. Be careful. I have my current stop loss at 77. I had it at 62. I moved it to 64. That might be a little too aggressive stop loss wise if I wanted to give it room to breathe, but I do want to lock in profit as well. So we're going to be patient, let that play out. It's 10:21. Take a look at the 15-minute, take a look at the 30-minute. Still a bit more bullish. We have 8 minutes left in those time frames, though, and those could very easily flip or stay. Hourly has 38 minutes left. Yeah, I really need CES hold above this 77.66, and it is struggling to do so, man. Definitely considering exiting in profit up here. Yeah, 1 minute looks ready to dump. Nvidia getting weak again here. We'll probably get out into some strength. Give me one last move and I'll get out. It's definitely struggling. I got you, brother. Absolutely. 245 here. CVD, which is cumulative volume delta, has been for the most part bearish today on ES. I'm going to move my stop loss to 77.65, right below where price is over here. So if we do just start dumping, I'm out for profit. If we hold, we're letting our winner run. Manage your trades properly. Guys, smash that like button if you're making some money today. Absolutely killed it today and yesterday on the ES and NQ. Yesterday we had ES longs, bang. Then we had NQ longs, ba-bada bang. Come on, ES, you know you want to rally. Nvidia's still struggling. Bro, if Nvidia wasn't struggling, I'd probably be adding. But Nvidia's still struggling, I'm manually exiting. It's not worth it. Nvidia's too strong of a catalyst to not be trading with the trend. I'm manually exiting right there. Not worth it. If we continue, I'm going to take a re-entry. If not, I'd rather be out of the trade for profit than let it run right back to my break even. Real good stuff today, guys. Great job. Great profits. Again, another killer day here at Market in the Morning. Great session. I'd rather ask you than ask Market, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. I know. You know what? We put up a vote. What are we going to name Ask Market? And we had about 1,000 votes saying to call it Ask Kevin. But apparently we had 1,001 to say call it Ask Market. So we were so close. But good stuff, guys. Remember, guys, tomorrow is NFP. Yes, sir. I know today's Thursday, right? Crazy, man. Crazy. Let's ask Market. How can we prepare for NFP and unemployment? And what's the prediction on those catalysts? What's your prediction? Yo, that's funny. EB, you said, IB, you said, what's your prediction on it while I'm asking Market? Let's see. I'll pull up the upcoming NFP schedule, the market, its rate cut pricing, and the playbook so we can see. Let's see. Also, guys, choppy ES. Glad we exited into strength versus letting it chop around and stop us out. What were we looking at? Oh, yeah, did gold? Gold's a tough one right here, man. It's like part of me is like, this is a solid area. Low volume area right here. We tapped it already. Could start to hold it. Another part of me is like, we took some trades on ES and NQ already. Why force gold? And that right there is enough of an answer to me to say, I'm not forcing gold. Okay, let's see. Market. Pull up the scenarios. U.S. economic calendar. High impact. Non-farm payroll. Above 80K is bullish for USD. Strong labor, hawkish Fed repricing. So above is more hawkish. Dollar strength, gold indices pressure. The hike odds would increase above 50% there. On 80K, neutral. Below 50K, soft jobs, dovish repricing. Look at that, right back to VWAP on ES here. This could be a spot where we hold. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be wrapping up the market in the morning stream there. Took some killer trades on ES, traded that range perfectly, traded the breakout very nicely. And yeah, that's all we can do is just trade what we see, and we are doing exactly what we see. So good job there. A big driver, somebody asked about what's driving price higher on NASDAQ if NVIDIA is struggling. I believe SpaceX is moving higher today. Oops. Yeah, SpaceX is rallying today, so that's going to help NASDAQ move up. Even though it's not crazy heavily weighted on the NASDAQ, it does still make that impact when there are sudden and strong moves. Bang! Look at that on ES, bro. I'm so happy with that exit. Really good job. Well done, everybody. Guys, give yourself some pats on the back. You did a good job today. If you at least learned something today, that's also a pat on the back. We didn't chase gold. Got in and out of NAS. Too risky to trade. There you go, Mitch. You got it. Guys, shoot me a follow on Instagram. Is @tradingwithkev. Shoot me a follow. Shoot me a message. Let's connect. Let's talk some markets. Always happy to help. Break and retest of XAU. Possibly right over here. I'm staying patient on it. I'm not a big fan of this chop we're seeing. Obviously, we'd ideally want to buy these lows and sell these highs. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Absolutely. Definitely repost the stream. Show some love. Smash the like button if you haven't already. This has been a phenomenal day so far. Great profits. We do not want to put any more risk on the table. And don't forget too, guys, if you're looking at a 5-minute and you were just bullish, then all of a sudden markets flip bearish, take a look at the 15-minute. Always zoom out. When you zoom out, you're going to get a much clearer picture of direction. Then you can let that 15-minute close. If it closes in our favor, we could take it long. If it doesn't, we could look for continuation, or we could look to stay out of markets for the rest of the day. This 15-minute has 2 minutes left. So yeah, ideally, I would want to see it turn back around bullish and close back above this white level. But if we don't, then there's no trade to be made. So guys, hey, thanks Kevin and the team. Happy trade, guys. See you. Got about $90 on gold. I had similar entry to the lab. You guys rock. Hey, that's awesome, man. That's what I like to hear. Good job. Well done. Good work, everybody. That's it, man. It's a team effort. We're a community here. Me and the lab, me and Jeev, me and whoever, Seb, Imri, whoever we have on. We're our teachers, right? We're running the session, but you guys are all part of the community. It is classes in session. It is a course. It is a community. It is where we all learn and come together to become better traders. Every day our goal is to get 1% better, no matter where you are in your journey. Guys, have a great rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. If you're in my community, I'll see you in just a couple minutes. I go live there and do a bit more of a live stream there for another hour to take some trades. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace.